Fan with Coachman. Fan got up there pretty good, but the Cupies win the toss, and the Owls are in their road black uniforms here tonight. First time, I believe, the Owls have ever played here on this floor in their road black uniform. The Owls try to shake things up, do something a little different tonight. Hickman is wearing their road yellow with purple numerals and trim. There's a three-point try from the corner. Shot put up by Henry, no good. Abney, long lead pass to Fan. He throws the ball away. And now Davis goes to the floor for it, but can't get it. And Taylor recovers for Hickman. And the Owls have an early turnover after the Hickman miss. Henry in the corner. Cronin trying to post Kotowitz down low. Here's Matthews off to Taylor in three-point land, guarded by a smaller DeMille Davis. Right-hand side, that's Henry. Henry out to Taylor. To Matthews in the lane. Now they back it out. Coachman trying to run loose underneath. The Owls are in a zone defense here. Wing left side, that's Henry. Long skip pass to Taylor for a jumper over Fan. No good. Rebound in the lane, Cronin. Back out to Henry. Hickman very patient on the offense here in the early going. We played over a minute. No score at Marshall. Coachman in the lane. Had the ball knocked away by Fan. Abney may have bumped Coachman from behind. No call, and the Owls get the ball on the turnover. Fan inbounds to Abney, up the middle, Kotowitz. The Owls have seen this pressure before. There's Bodie, fakes the three. The Owls do break it. Fan will shoot a three and goes in and out on him. DeMille Davis in amongst the trees, had it but lost it. Then back comes Hickman's Russ Matthews with it. Across the timeline, swing left-hand side to Taylor. Taylor, cross-court pass Henry, open for a three, doesn't take it. Here's Matthews underneath. And we got an intentional foul underneath. I think Coachman threw an elbow at Kotowitz. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Evidently, Coachman trying to work some position underneath against Kotowitz. Threw an elbow at the Owl Jr., and Scott's giving away a little bit of height. That's all he gives away. Kotowitz plays hard on both ends of the floor. We've mentioned it several times this season. I think Scott's the most improved ball player the Owls have had throughout the year. He is really a team player. Hits the first one. And the Owls get on the board first. And Coachman is out of the ball game. Coach Paul Lovelace, or rather Mike Lovelace, takes him out. Kotowitz hits them both. And then Jefferson comes in the ball game. I'm not sure that's bad or good for the Owls. Jefferson was all world down in Sedalia last Saturday night off the bench. Abney, long lead pass to Davis. Looks to inside, couldn't hit Kotowitz. Now Kotowitz can't handle the pass from Abney. That pass had some mustard on it, and Kotowitz had to go off his hand out of bounds. So Marshall gets the first 2 points, but then turns the ball over. Here's Taylor across the timeline, wing left side to Matthews. Off to Taylor against Davis. Dribbles inside the three-point line. Pulls up for the jumper. No good. Rebound, Kotowitz and Abney had it, but then they lost it. And then Taylor, trying to run the ball down on the far baseline, stepped on the end line, and the Owls get it back again. Abney, long lead pass, ill-advised to Bodie. Not a good pass, and back comes Jefferson with it. Across the timeline to Taylor. Well, the Owls have had some chances here to get on top of this Hickman club, but 3 quick turnovers have killed that. Wing left side, Henry. Inside to Jefferson, over Fan for the deuce off the glass. There's that man, Ben Jefferson, again. We're tied at 2. Kotowitz up the middle to Abney, off the Fan. Fan dribbles between defenders across the timeline. Off to Davis in the corner, squares up for a three, back to Fan for a jumper. Eric hits it. The Owls lead again, 4-2, 5.5 left to go in this first quarter. Taylor, wing left side, off to Henry in the corner. Long skip pass to Day, doesn't shoot the three. DeMille Davis comes up on him. Here's Matthews, top of the circle, guarded by Abney. Off to Day again. To Jefferson, high post, off to Matthews for a jumper, count it. Matthews hits the jumper. The Owls again trying to beat the press with a long pass. They throw the ball away again. This time Abney threw the ball away, and the Owls have got 4 early turnovers here. And they're tied 4-4 with Hickman. We've played nearly 3 minutes in the first quarter. Marquin Keith comes in the ball game. DeMille, oh, check it. Abney comes out, so does Davis. And Max Sleeper checks in. Top of the circle, they swing it around. That's Matthews. Cronin, high post for a short jumper, no good. Rebound by Fan, had it knocked out of his hands by Taylor. And the Owls will get it back. Kotowitz inbounds against pressure. Sleeper gets it, back to Kotowitz. Now Bodie has it in the backcourt, double teamed. Hickman throws up a bit of a trap. The Owls do break the pressure. Here's Sleeper off to Bodie. Pass was tipped, but the Owls get it back. Now Fan in the corner hits another jumper. Fan was red hot against Kearney in the first half. He had 17 first half points, wound up with 20. He's off to a good start here. That could be a factor. Left-hand side, Henry in the corner. They get it off to Matthews. Down the lane, he lost it, but a whistle and a foul called against Markman Keith. He reached in as Matthews cruised in looking for an easy layup. Cronin will inbound. First team foul against Marshall. Hickman has one. We've played nearly half the first quarter. Here's Jefferson, top of the circle, Matthews. The Owls in his floating zone defense here at the outset. Jefferson high post over Bodie. Too long. Rebound by Fan. Back comes Fan. Long lead pass to Bodie. It's tipped away again. This time Matthews with the turnover, and the Owls have really hurt themselves in the early going here with the TOs. Top of the circle, Matthews against Bodie. Henry open in the corner, doesn't shoot it. Matthews at the foul line. Whistle away from the ball. Foul called, I think, against Sleeper. Sleeper tried to keep Henry away from the bucket. Picked up the personal. That's one on Max, two on the Owls. Cronin will inbound. Lob pass to Jefferson along the far side. Out top to Matthews. Across the three-point line off to Day. Again, wing left side, Henry to Day. Inside they go to Cronin. High post pass over Sleeper. Jumper, count it. Cronin hits the deuce. We're tied at 6. Sleeper to Bodie. Bodie looking up the court. Back to Kotowitz. Up the middle, Markman Keith. And the pass is tipped by Henry, and Matthews gets it on the turnover. Matthews up the middle. Wing left side, Henry. Jefferson the trailer. Offensive foul against Hickman. Good defense by the Owls. I think it was Markman Keith who took the charge. And the Owls will inbound against this Hickman pressure, which is, like the other night, really giving the Owl fits. Marshall is tied here 6-6 as opposed to last week being down by quite a bit after making turnovers. Sleeper in the middle off to Bodie. Bodie, three-point country, long skip pass to Fan. Eric pulls up, goes baseline. Nice pass in the lane to Kotowitz. Back out to Adney. Joe will go in the lane. Now Bodie for a three-pointer. In and out, no good. Rebound in the lane. Adney gets it, puts it up and in. Adney and Kotowitz both had inside position, and Joe got it to go down. Owls lead again 8-6. Under 3 minutes left to play, first quarter. Day outside the three-point arc off to Matthews. Owls look like they're in a 2-1-2 or 1-3-1 zone. Here's Fan on a steal. Lead pass. He thought Abney was going to go up the court, and Joe stopped. And Columbia Hickman gets another turnover. The Owls have turned the ball over 7 times in the first quarter, but they lead. Here's Henry. Top of the circle, Matthews in the lane for a jumper over Bodie. No good. Rebound, Kotowitz. Kotowitz long lead pass. That's almost stolen away. It is stolen away by Paul Day. Or rather, Paul Taylor. Here's Matthews. Inside, Jefferson's got position on Sleeper. Puts it up too hard off the glass. Cronin with the rebound, puts it up and in. Cronin on the second chance has 4 points. We're tied at 8. Abney, lead pass up to Bodie. Bodie goes baseline, back to Abney. He almost lost it. Abney looks in the middle, nothing doing. Here's Bodie, tries to lob a pass inside. And fortunately for the Owls, the Hickman players went after it because Sleeper didn't have a chance for it. Bodie will inbound. Gets it into Sleeper. Beautiful play on the inside. Well, the Owls' passes hadn't been all that great in the first quarter, but there was an excellent one there from Bodie on the inbound to Sleeper. It was wide open underneath the bucket. Inside now the pass to Henry. Shot is blocked by Fan, but they say Eric got him on the way up for a foul. That'll send Henry to the line for a couple. Coachman comes back in the game. Coachman with the early intentional foul. Coach Mike Lovelace sat him down for about 5 minutes. Henry for a couple from the line. The first one, good. Lloyd Henry, who got into some foul trouble in that game the Owls played Hickman down in Sedalia and had 6 points. Second one rolls around, no good. Jefferson on the offensive rebound. That won't go down. Sleeper gets it back for the Owls. Owls got a break there, and back comes Kodowitz to Abney. Wing right side, Bodie to the forecourt. Bodie against Henry. Bodie has to just knock the ball off Henry's leg as Henry cut off the baseline and played good defense against the Owl senior. Marshall with a 1-point advantage with 1:24 left to go in the first quarter. Bodie inbounds, looking, lobs it inside the Sleeper, who puts it up and in. Well, the Owls this time, instead of the bounce pass inside, got a little lob inside, and the result's the same, a bucket for Marshall. Minute 10 left to play first quarter. Owls lead by 3. Inside, Coachman in the lane, puts it up strong, doesn't get the roll. Rebound Henry, had it, hit the deck, lost it, and the Owls get it back. Minute 5 left to play in this first quarter. Sleeper double teamed in the backcourt off to Abney. Now he's double teamed. Sleeper gets it up to Kodowitz. Wing left side, Fan. Fan fakes back to Abney in the lane. Joe tried to hook a man, got it back. Now they're going to call him for double dribble. Abney thinks he got fouled. The official didn't think so, and the Owls turn it over. And Hickman has 52 seconds here to work in this first quarter. Let's see if they play for one or if they go ahead and go for the shot early. Here's Taylor. Cross-court pass. Matthews in the lane. Shoots it over Sleeper. No good. Rebound underneath. Oh, the Owls are really outmanned down there. And Jefferson gets it down for Hickman. He's got 4. The Owls turn it over. There's Sleeper. As the Hickman players are, I think Coachman and Sleeper hit knees, and Coachman's trying to walk it off here as the Owls turn it over again against that Hickman press. Now the Cupies can take the lead. We're inside 15 seconds left to play in the quarter. Matthews, top of the circle. Back to Taylor. He's 30 feet away from the bucket. Long skip pass to Matthews. In the corner, Henry. It's knocked out of bounds by Bodie. 8 ticks left on the clock here in the first quarter, which is just zoomed by. Mark, when Keith comes in the game, Abney will check out. The Owls have 10 turnovers in the first quarter, but they lead by a point. Fan will also come out. DeMille Davis is in. Here's Taylor, wing left side. Henry, back to Taylor. 2 seconds. Matthews for a 3. No good. That ends the quarter. After 1 here at Marshall, we got a good one brewing. The Owls are Kodowitz, DeMille Davis, and Sleeper. For Hickman, it's Coachman, Taylor, Henry, Matthews, and Jefferson. Hickman in a man-to-man as the Owls start this second quarter. The Owls turn the ball over as Bodie and Keith both had a chance to catch the pass and looked at each other and let it go by. Hickman again with the basketball with a chance to take the lead. Coachman out to Taylor. Taylor, they swing at top of the circle. Matthews to Henry, doesn't shoot the J. Hickman's going to look inside. Coachman has it, but he's double teamed, tries to squeeze between 2 defenders. Now back out to Matthews, and then Jefferson zigged when he should have zagged, and the ball went out of bounds, and the Owls get it back again. 4 turnovers against Hickman, 11 for Marshall. Kodowitz, cross-court pass Keith. The Owls still haven't gotten to the forecourt yet. Long cross-court pass for Bodie. That's intercepted. Back comes Hickman with it. In the lane, Henry turns it over. He walks. Well, Hickman hasn't played since Saturday. They are a little rusty, to say the least. The Owls played and won on Tuesday night, but they're having a devil of a time with this press. I mean, really, they're making passes they don't have to make. They're doing a good job of being patient when they work the ball up the middle like they just did just there. There's Fan. And then there's that first pass in the forecourt, and Henry with the quickness, or rather Matthews with the quickness, takes it away. Back comes Hickman, wing right side. New player in the ball game. Inside to Cronin, he gets it. Cronin over Sleeper, doesn't shoot. Back out to Matthews, left open for a 3. That won't go down. Kodowitz with the rebound, and back comes Abney. Abney to the forecourt to Fan. Fan will shoot a long 3-pointer, misses everything. Rebound by Coachman. Then back comes Hickman. Still, it's a 12-11 Marshall lead, amazingly enough. Here's Bodie with a steal to Abney. See if the Owls push it. Here's Fan. Fan almost had the ball knocked away from him, and he does, out of bounds. And the Owls get it back. Got almost as many turnovers in this game as we got points. Donnie Johnson will check in the game. Taylor comes out. The new player in the game is Braden Whitney, 6'3" junior forward. Whitney in the ball game. Coach Mike Lovelace, he's got a wealth of talent on that bench. Here's Bodie for a foul line jumper. He hits it. Bodie hits the deuce, and the Owls lead by 3. That's their biggest lead. Just in the game, Johnson off to Matthews. Whitney in the corner, goes inside to Cronin. He was bumped on the pass, no call, and the Owls get the ball as it went out of bounds off Cronin. Marshall got a break there. Here's Sleeper, bounce pass up the wing to Fan. Fan against Cronin, backs it off to Abney. Abney, Kodowitz open at the foul line, off to Bodie. Bodie fakes the 3, steps inside the 3-point line, misses the jumper. Kodowitz on the offensive rebound, couldn't get it to go down, but picks up the foul, and he'll shoot 2 from the line. And that's Damon Coachman who picks up the foul, and he'll check out. Coachman was a force in that first game. The Owls played against Hickman Saturday, but been almost invisible so far tonight. That's his second foul. He'll sit down, and Jefferson comes back in for Hickman. Kodowitz on the free throw, in and out. The Owls didn't have much luck on that free throw. Kodowitz will try again. Second one. Good. Kodowitz has 3 points, all from the line. The Owls lead us 4. That's their biggest lead of the night. Matthews, wing right side, Donnie Johnson. They play at the top of the circle with it. Off to Whitney. Whitney, long skip pass cross court to Johnson. He's double teamed. Back out high, Matthews. Wants to go inside. Back to Johnson. In the middle, Jefferson spins in the lane, puts it up, whistle, walk. Kodowitz and Sleeper doing a good job down low to keep Jefferson, if not keep him away from the ball, at least keep him a little bit uncomfortable down there. There's a turnover at midcourt. Jefferson had it, and then they're going to say he went backcourt with it. Jefferson got the steal and then put his right foot back over the line, which caused an over and back call. So the teams trade turnovers, and the Owls get it back. Here's Bodie. Wing left side, Fan against Johnson. Top of the circle, Kodowitz. Off to Bodie in 3-point land, guarded by Whitney. Against Abney. Abney, top of the circle, pounds the ball on the floor with the right hand. Off to Bodie, again in 3-point land. The Fan. Johnson is all over him. Fan drives, throws it up in the lane, won't go. They're going to call steps on Eric Fan. 15 Marshall turnovers. That's as many points as the Owls have scored here in the first half, but they lead by 4. Under 5 minutes left to play till halftime. Matthews, long skip pass off to Johnson. Owls in his zone defense. They've been at it since the opening tap. Johnson, long skip pass off to Whitney against Kodowitz. Looks inside, nothing doing. Now Jefferson has it. Top of the circle. Abney with a great play, almost got a steal out of it. That opens up a lane for Cronin. Goes down low over Sleeper and hits the deuce. Well, the Owls got a bad break. They played good defense. Now there's a turnover in the backcourt by the Owls. And a foul's going to be called against Abney, as he had to keep Matthews from going to the hole unmolested. I think the Owls are going to call a timeout. Marshall's got 16 first-half turnovers, but they lead by 2 at 4:23 left to play in the half. 15-13 Marshall. Owls call a timeout. Turnovers in half. They could be ahead rather comfortably right now. Cronin will inbound for Hickman. Gets the ball into Matthews. Off to Whitney in 3-point land. Back off to Matthews. Hickman Ball Club is very patient on offense. Here's Whitney on the baseline. Puts it up. No good. Offensive foul. And guess who took it? Scott Kodowitz. Fan gave up the baseline. Whitney, being opportunistic, took it. Kodowitz stepped up out of nowhere and took the charge, and Whitney missed the shot anyway. Whitney off the bench in that game the other night. Had 2 points. Another 6'3" junior. He picks up his first foul. Abney in the backcourt to Kodowitz. Up to Bodie. Bodie had to go off his hands. It's taken away by Whitney. Left-hand side. Inside the pass goes. A couple players battle for it. Kodowitz comes up with it for the Owls. And Hickman turns the ball over. Here's Abney. Go ahead and shoot it, Joe. Hits it. Passing the ball has become a lost art here tonight, so you might as well shoot it. And now a double triple by Matthews. And the Owls have their biggest lead of the night. They've got 17 turnovers, and they lead 18-13, and Hickman's got 11 now. Bodie will inbound along the far side. Abney's got 5 points after hitting that tray. Abney across the timeline. Off to Bodie. Bodie to Fan along the hash mark, far left side. Abney comes for the pass, guarded by Henry. Gets a screen, shoots over Cronin. Good again. Abney's got 7. Look out. If he gets hot, the Owls lead by 7. Here's Matthews. Left-hand dribble to the forecourt. Off to Henry. Looking inside. Double team in the corner. Back to Matthews. Skip past Donnie Johnson. Johnson looks inside. Back off to Matthews. Open for a 3. Off the back iron. No good. Fan has it for Marshall. 2-on-1. Fan goes all the way down. Lays it up. Offensive foul against Fan. And he had Bodie open on the wing left side and just went ahead and took it. Johnson took the charge. Fan will come out. And Marquand Keith comes in the ball game. Owls had a chance to extend the lead. That's 5 team fouls against Marshall as well. Here's Johnson left open for a 3. Doesn't even look at the bucket. Long skip pass off to Matthews. Inside, nice touch pass to Cronin. Puts it up too hard off the glass. Back comes Keith for the Owl. Keith looks up court, nothing doing. Stops at 3-point line. He'll throw one up. That's no good. Rebound by Kotowitz. To Keith in the lane. Short. Marquand should have short armed that one. Now Abney for a 3-point try. That won't go down. Rebound by Jefferson. It's not textbook, but it is interesting and it is exciting. Abney on the defense for the Owls out high. As Johnson and Matthews plays catch. Inside, nice tip, nice defense that time by Sleeper. Max let Jefferson beat him to the low block, but he was able to recover and tip the ball away. Abney will come out, and J.R. Lawless comes in the ball game for the Owls. Now Eric Fan will check back in. And Scott Kotowitz will get a blow on the bench. Kotowitz has been working hard down low, him and Sleeper. They're giving away a couple of inches inside to who's Hickman forward. Down low, here's Jefferson against Sleeper along the baseline. Good defense by Max. Back out to Henry for a jumper. Won't go down. Rebound tapped out to Fan. Fan has a 3-on-1. Fan's going to try and take it all the way again. This time a foul is called against Henry. And it's a good foul because that's only 5 on Hickman here in the first half, and the Owls still aren't shooting free throws yet. Bodie inbounds to Keith. Out high, Lawless. Lawless, wing left side. Bodie squares up for a 3. Good! Steve Bodie. Boy, if the Owls can get him on track, look out. Here is Henry with it against Lawless. Wing left side. The Owl lead has ballooned to 10 points here, amazingly enough. Wing right side. They get it out to Henry. Back to Johnson. To Matthews. Bounce past Johnson. Tries to go inside against Cronin. It's knocked away by Lawless. Here comes the Owl junior guard. Lawless. Off the Fan. He'll shoot another 3. Off the mark. Bad. Long lead pass. No one got back to the Owls. Jefferson, look out. Lays it up and in. No one got back for the Owls on defense. Now Marshall turns the ball over. They're going to say one off at Hickman, foot out of bounds. And I think a couple of Owl players, Lawless and I think Matthews, collided. Lawless will come out. I think I mentioned that Lawless was a junior a while ago. He is a senior for the Owls. First year on the varsity level. Here is Marquand Keith now, top of the circle off to Abney as Abney's back in the ball game, along with Kotowitz. Daniil Davis is also in the game as Bodie, Lawless, and Sleeper came out. The Owls are under a minute left to play in the quarter, and they're going to try and They're going to bring the offense out high and try and either get a backdoor cut or hold for one here. Hickman has a foul to give, so they can gamble a little bit on defense. Kodowitz, high post off to Abney. Off to Keith, way out high, gives the ball to Davis. Davis looks at the clock, off to Fan. Fan's got Whitney on him. Fan out high. Fan has to get rid of the basketball. He turned it over. And Hickman has 31 seconds with which to work here in this first half, down by 8. Here is Taylor back in the ball game for the Cupies. Top of the circle. They swing it right-hand side. Whitney open, didn't shoot it. Inside, the ball is tipped away by Kodowitz. What a play by Kodowitz. Out to Abney. To Davis, back to Abney. 10 seconds left to play and a half. The Owls got just what they wanted. They got the turnover. Now they can work for one. Fan in the far corner right in front of the Hickman bench. Got to get rid of the ball off to Davis. Davis fakes the three, almost walked. Goes in the lane, throws it up at the buzzer. Won't go down, and that ends the half. Marshall leads 23-15 at the break. Pull off the upset. We're ready to start this third quarter. I'll get it out as Hickman gets the ball to start the second half, moving from left to right. Both teams have their starting lineups back in there, including Damon Coachman, who did little or nothing in that first half for Rockbridge. Cross-court pass to Taylor, dribbled the ball off of Abney's leg, gets it back. They're going to say it was over and back. Evidently the ball did hit Abney, but then hit Taylor again. And they're going to call over and back on the Cupies. The Owls get it back here and can get their lead back up to 10. Kodowitz in the front court. The Owls have really extended this Hickman defense here. Abney off the boy. Now they work the ball back inside. Here's Kodowitz, top of the circle. Coachman's got him tied up off the Fan. Fan will look to go inside. Has to get rid of it off that Bodie. Bodie in three-point land. Very tough man-to-man Hickman defense. The Owls are trying to work something against it. Here's Abney forcing one up in the lane. No good. Rebound high for it is Henry. Henry is tripped. No call, but Hickman gets the ball back. Wing right side, that's Matthews. Top of the circle, Coachman. Coachman, cross court for Taylor. Taylor pulls up for a jumper, foul line, rolls around, won't go. Rebound by Matthews. He is hammered by Fan. Fan almost tackled Matthews. He'll go to the line to shoot a couple. That's 3 on Fan. So Marshall will, Columbia Hickman will have Matthews shooting 2 from the stripe. First one, good. Hickman shot 23 free throws last Saturday night at Sedalia against the Owls. Tonight they've only shot 2. This will make 3, in and out, no good. Rebound by Cronin. He got inside Kodowitz but missed the layup. Now Kodowitz is able to outfight Henry for the offensive rebound, and back come the Owls. Abney off the Fan. Fan top of the circle, Abney. Off the Bodie. Bodie way out high, guarded by Henry. Belly-to-belly defense here for Hickman here in the third quarter. They've really turned it up a notch defensively. His Coachman had a steal but lost it. Back comes Bodie with it. He'll shoot a jumper from the top of the circle, no good. Rebound by Cronin, off to Abney. The Owls had to have numbers there, but they couldn't get it away up. Here's Fan on the pass and gets the jumper and gets it down from beyond the foul line. Now we have a stoppage in play as the ball got kicked out of bounds before Hickman could take it out. Back comes Henry with it. Right side off to Taylor. Fakes the pass. Now goes back inside to Coachman. Drives on Fan. Puts up a tough shot from the baseline and hits it. Whoa. Fall away jumper from about 17 feet on the baseline. Here's Fan. He almost carried the ball off to Abney. Foul line jumper for Kodowitz, who hits a line drive bullet. Scott's got 5. The Owl lead is 9 again. Inside of 6 minutes left to play, third quarter. Marshall's never trailed in this game. Bodie almost a steal against Matthews. In the corner now, Henry. Henry faced up by Kodowitz, down low. Bad pass going away by Fan. Back come the Owls. Fan across the timeline. Off to Abney in three-point land. Abney Looks at the Hickman defense, still dribbling. Now top of the circle, Bodie with it against Henry. Henry almost had the ball, did steal it away. Here's Coachman. Coachman against Kotowitz. Kotowitz from behind, stole the ball away from Coachman. I think Coachman was trying to measure himself for a dunk, and Kotowitz stole the ball from behind, picked his pocket. Good hustle by the Owl Jr. Here's Bodie inside to Abney, double team, jump ball they say, but it will be the Owls on the possession. Abney was trying to post up Taylor, although Taylor had help underneath, but it will be the Owls getting the ball back as the possession arrow is pointing towards Marshall. Here's Abney with it. Looks to go inside. We got a foul away from the ball against Sleeper. Sleeper and Henry were going at it downstairs, and Max picks up the personal. That's his second. Neither one of these teams are in any kind of foul trouble as far as individual players are concerned. That's 2 on Sleeper. I take it back. I believe Eric Fan has 3 fouls for Marshall. Long cross-court pass to Taylor. Down the baseline against Fan. Puts it up. No good. Rebound by Kotowitz again. Off to Bodie, who lost it. Steve tried to run before he had it and dropped it. And it's Matthews now with a 3-point try. Count it. Oh, that's a big turnover there. Matthews hits the tray. He's got 6. Back comes Bodie to Abney. Joe squares up to Kotowitz. Off the Fan for a 3-pointer. Good again. Fan hits his first 3. He's got 9, and the Owl lead again is 9. Here's Taylor. Off to Matthews to Taylor. Inside the 3-point arc for a jumper. Short. Rebound in the lane. Kotowitz battling with Henry. Henry will pick up the foul on Kotowitz's back. Scott Kotowitz only has 5 points in the game. But he has been a rock underneath the glass for the Owls. Off to Abney. They get it to the forecourt to Fan. Fan long cross-court pass Bodie in the middle. Kotowitz. Top of the circle again Abney. Again off to Bodie. He'll shoot a 3 over Henry. Good! The Owls are hitting the trays, and they lead by a dozen. And Columbia Hickman coach Mike Lobos wants a timeout. 3:52 left to play in the third quarter. The Owls are up. That's Sean Bennett, sophomore. Bennett will come in. Surprised we haven't seen Ben Jefferson yet in this half. He's been the best player on the floor tonight for Hickman besides maybe Matthews. Here's Bennett in the corner to Cronin. Back out to Henry. To Bennett for a 3-point bomb. No good. Rebound. Fan for the rebound for Marshall. Out to Abney. Abney across the timeline to Kotowitz. Left-hand side Fan. He'll shoot another 3. Good again! Fan's got a dozen. The Owls lead by 15. Top of the circle. Inside the paint. Down to Coachman. They're going to say walk. No, foul call before the shot. Coachman was going to stuff that baby. A grimace on Coachman's face, although the foul is called against Marshall. I believe the foul is on Bodie. That's 1 on Steve. Bennett will come out of the ball game. Ben Jefferson comes in. He's been poisoned for the Owls. Abney will check out and get a brief respite. And DeMille Davis comes in the game for Marshall. The Owls wearing their road black uniforms for the first time ever, I believe, on their home floor. And so far, it's been a pretty good tonic. Inside the pass is stopped away by DeMille Davis, and Kotowitz comes up with a steal. Good defense by the Owls. Kotowitz, top of the circle, wing left side, Fan. Fan drives on Jefferson to the baseline, pulls up for a tough shot, no good. Rebound by Coachman underneath. Coachman and Sleeper, and now Kotowitz, and Sleeper gets up, and Coachman is turned away. And I don't think Damon Coachman wants anything to do with Max Sleeper. Both players hit the floor, and I think the big blow was that Coachman threw an elbow or took a shot at Kotowitz before the shot went up from Fan, and Coachman will sit down. Donnie Johnson in the ball game for Hickman. Hickman gets the ball back, down by 15. The QB's in a bucket here. Here's Cronin, wing left side. Top of the circle. Henry drives, pulls up for a jumper, hits it. Lloyd Henry with his first 2 of the night. At least that's his first field goal. He's got 3 points, had one earlier from the line. Here's Kotowitz, the fan. Fan tries to slip through the defenders. Not a good move, and it's picked off. Back comes the Cupies. Wing right side. Jefferson goes to the hole. Oh, they're going to call for an offensive foul. And the Hickman bench is livid. Coach Mike Lovelace is just running his hands through his already thinning hair. He is beside himself. Jefferson had the bucket. I thought he had the bucket and the foul to boot. And no Marshall player took a charge. He must have pushed off with an arm or done something, but whatever the case may be, the Owls get the ball back. His fan, and a foul is called against Hickman's Russ Matthews. Coach Mike Lovelace wants another timeout, and Hickman has hit one. That's the difference in the game. Fan gets the inbounds pass, goes baseline against Jefferson, stepped on the out-of-bounds line. And now Jefferson and Fan have words. And the official has a word with Ben Jefferson. Still got 2:02 left to play in the third quarter. As Fan stepped on the end line, driving against Johnson. The Owls have got 21 turnovers, but 17 of those came in the first half. This game is far from over, though. You get that feeling. Here's Matthews. Inside the paint for a jumper. Count it! Hickman starting to find some cracks in the Owl zone. Now here's a long lead pass. Johnson hammers Fan as Fan hits the bucket. And now Johnson takes a push at Fan as Fan got in Johnson's face. And both players are going to get technical fouls. And Marquin Keith comes in the ball game, and Coach Kevin Hart might be ready to blow a gasket here for Marshall. The Owls have the technical foul against Marshall. I think Fan's going to shoot one free throw, and then the Owls will get the technical. Or, no, it'll be the intentional foul. Fan's free throw is good. Next free throw by Fan is good. Well, I don't know what the deal was there. Fan's going to keep shooting free throws here. I thought he got one. Well, now he'll get two for the intentional foul. Hits the first one. This is going to wind up being at least. Fan hit all four. At least a 6-point play for Marshall. And now Hickman will shoot two at the other end. And then the Owls, I believe, will get the ball out of bounds. Fan makes it a 6-point play. Jefferson's free throw rolls around, falls through. So evidently, they called a technical foul on Donnie Johnson and an intentional foul against Johnson. But no foul on the shot. Jefferson hits one of two from the stripe. And now the Owls will inbound, and they come out of this smelling like a rose. Or are they going to jump it up? I think they're going to jump it up. Now we're going to have a conference between the captains. Bodie, Cronin, and Coachman are going to meet at midcourt and have a confab to try and put a lid on this thing. It all started early in the game when Coachman got an intentional foul against Kotowitz at about the 2-minute mark, and now Bodie and Cronin and Coachman all shake hands. And we'll see how long the piece lasts here. Marshall inbounds up by 16. Bodie gets it on the inbounds pass against Henry. Almost lost it on the dribble. Picks it up. Swings it right-hand side. Kotowitz against Coachman. Back off to Abney. Abney. The Owls at a minute 35 left to play in the quarter. They're not in any hurry. They're sleeper with it against this man-to-man Hickman defense. Ooh, Kotowitz was open, didn't see him. Here's Marquin Keith. Shoots a jumper over Matthews, long. Rebound, Kotowitz runs it down. Bodie's able to save it in front of the Owl bench. Out to Abney. We're inside a minute 15 left to play, third quarter. Kotowitz to Keith, out high. Abney with it against Matthews. Out to Scott Kotowitz against Coachman. To Bodie. The Owls are going to play catch here about 30 feet away from the bucket. Now Sleeper gets it, high post, off to Kotowitz, to Bodie. Bodie looks inside, nothing doing. Here is Keith, almost had the ball knocked away, did so, but Abney recovers in the back court. And he now crosses to the front court. Off to Kotowitz. Kotowitz around Coachman. Off to Bodie, inside of 45 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Owls lead by 16. Wing left side, Bodie. Top of the circle, Kotowitz. Again, off to Abney. Off to Bodie. Hickman's got 2 fouls to give, but it's only the third quarter, but they're down by 16, and the Owls are eating precious time off the clock. Here's Abney, top of the circle, Bodie. Bodie against Henry. Henry's all over him. Off to Keith. Keith almost had it slapped away by Jefferson. Now Bodie has it. Bodie directs traffic. We're inside of 20 seconds now. Keith, 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Abney has it. Let's see if Joe goes one-on-one. He's got a screen from Sleeper. Bodie will free up himself up for a three-pointer. Shot no good. In the lane, Keith had it. Whistle, whistle. 2 seconds left to play in the quarter. And Hickman gets it. They're going to say it was a tied-up ball. Cupies will have the ball with 2 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Henry will inbound, looking for somebody to come back with a pass. Coachman has it, and he'll throw it up from mid-court. Short. The Owls lead by 16 going into the fourth quarter here at Marshall. We're up by 19. Here's Henry. Or rather, Matthews off to Jefferson. Inside Coachman over Fan. We got a foul call before the shot. And about 4 or 5 minutes ago, they never would have called that foul. They do it now. The officials didn't really clean the play up earlier in the game, and that's what things got a little out of hand. Fan fouls out with that 5th one. Now Eric had 3 personal fouls for the technical foul in high school basketball this year. It gives you another counts of the personal. So that was his 4th, and so now he fouls out. Fan finishes the night with 21 points, 4 3-pointers. Here's Coachman, turns in the lane, shot put up, no good. Rebound by Bodie, out to Davis, who's in the ball game now for Marshall. Over to Keith, back to Davis. Owls enjoy a 19-point lead, and they got the ball. Here's Kotowitz, wing right side, top of the circle, off to DeMille Davis. Davis tries to go in the lane, he backs it out, off the Sleeper. The Owls are in no hurry. Here's Bodie, he tries to go inside. Almost walked off to Keith for a shot, no good. Rebound Jefferson, and DeMille Davis picks up a foul underneath. And J.R. Lawless is going to come in the ball game, and that's not what the Owls needed. Jefferson brought the ball down, and Davis tried to go for the hands to get a quick steal. Coach Mike Lovelace calls a timeout for Hickman with 6:49 left, trying to figure out what he can do to get his ball club back in this thing. Marshall leads by 19. We'll be right back. You're listening to Marshall Owl Basketball on KMMO. Teams break their respective huddles. We still got 6:49 left to play in the game. This is about how much time we had on Tuesday night when Kearney was down by 19. And here we were in the last 50 seconds of the ball game. The Owls were playing for their lives. They wound up coming back. Here's Matthews against DeMille Davis. Inside, they get the ball off to Henry. Now back out. Matthews had the ball tipped away by Davis. Good defense by the Owls. And the officials are going to give the ball to the Owls. And Coach Mike Lovelace just turns around and sits down and can't believe it. That ball went off Marshall, but the officials just didn't have the vantage point to see it. Here's Bodie, wing right side, Lawless. Lawless has to get rid of it off to Kotowitz in the corner. Kotowitz off to Davis. Davis against Donnie Johnson. Davis trying to dribble around Johnson. Does so to the three-point line off to Kotowitz. All the Owls really having to work on offense. Wing right side, Davis. The Owls just playing keep away here. 3-second violation against Marshall. Abney and Keith come back in the ballgame for the Owls. And J.R. Lawless and DeMille Davis will come out. Columbia Hickman, 26 points in the ball game. We only got 6 minutes left to play. Amazing. They scored 74 the other night against the Owls and made it look easy doing it. There's Johnson, long cross-court pass to Matthews, guarded by Keith. Again, skip pass to Johnson. Johnson in the lane for a jumper, in and out, and back in. Hickman's got to start taking some shots, regardless of where it is on the court. They are running a lot of time on the clock each time down the floor. Abney around a screen from Kotowitz. Inside, Keith lost it, but Sleeper picks up the loose ball and puts it up and in. The Owls taking advantage of drawing out the Hickman defense out high and found a couple men underneath all by themselves. Here's Henry in the corner to Matthews. Cross-court pass Johnson. Goes inside the three-point line. Shoots up a jumper. No good. Rebound by Sleeper off to Keith. He leaves it for Abney, and the Owls with a 19-point lead in the Pumpkin with 5 minutes left to play in the game. Here's Abney, top of the circle, between the two rings. Now he dribbles outside again, looks for help. Double teamed off to Keith. Keith looks inside. Here's Bodie, foul called against Henry. Well, this Hickman ball club has been up and down all year long. They were blown out by Rockbridge, which has beaten the Owls twice this year by 5 points both times, and you had to wonder if the Owls were 24 points worse than Hickman was last week, and tonight's the answer. They certainly are not. 5-second count against Marshall's. Abney is trapped in front of the scorer's table and couldn't get rid of the basketball. The Owl lead, though, is still 19. Brandon Whitney in the ball game now for Hickman, as is Paul Taylor. Coach Mike Lovelace has seen enough. He's going with some of the second-line troops here. Moody is also in the game for Hickman. There's a shot up, no good. Rebound by the Owls. Here's Marquand Keith. As Bodie hit Keith on the layup, going all the way down underneath all by himself. Marquand gets his first two of the night. And the Owls have put this one away. They lead by 21 with 4:20 left to play in the game. There's a three-point bomb put up and in by Braden Whitney. It's Braden Whitney, not Brandon Whitney. He gets his first three. Here's Abney out high. Throws the ball away, does throw it away. Here comes Johnson with it. Johnson switch hands on the dribble, off to Taylor. Taylor had a man inside, didn't see him. Now he goes baseline, and a blocking foul called against Kotowitz with 4 minutes left to play in the game. Brian Moody, a 6'4" sophomore, in the ball game. I thought Moody was very effective against the Owls in that win on Saturday night. That foul is 17 fouls against Marshall. That's the first foul, if you can believe it, all night long on Scott Kotowitz. All the inside play he's had to do, that's just good defense. Taylor hits the free throw. The Owl lead is suddenly down to 17 from what was 21 just a moment ago. Second one falls through for Taylor. He hits them both. Kotowitz inbounds to DeMille Davis. Davis trying to work the ball across the timeline, does so against Sean Bennett, who's in the ball game, another sophomore. Davis working the ball out high, still with it. Davis still working the basketball as we get inside 3:40 left to play in the game. And now Bennett, or rather Whitney, just ran over Marquand Keith. I mean, literally just lowered his shoulder and rolled him over. 1-and-1 time for the Owls. These two teams will play each other again here at Marshall next year, and then the Owls will make 2 trips to Hickman. So the wars have just begun between these two. Keith hits the first one. I would imagine this may heat up into quite a rivalry sometime down the road. Marquand Keith hits them both. The Owls have only missed one foul shot all night. 3:35 and counting left to play in this one. Marshall will go to 9-5 on the year, apparently. There's Bennett for a three. In and out, no good. Rebound in the lane. Moody comes up with it. Moody is run down from behind by Keith, but gets away from him. Off to Johnson. Johnson down the lane against Kotowitz. Foul called against Kotowitz. And Johnson will go to the line for a couple, I think. Kotowitz hit the deck and tried to pick up the charge, but he was slid underneath Johnson and picked up the foul. Johnson will shoot. Well, let's see if it's 1-1 or shooting 2. Marquand Keith comes out of the game. Joe Abney back in. 3:21 left to go. The Owls lead by 18. This would be a rather impressive win for Marshall. 1-1 they say for Johnson. It's up. Good. He'll get one more. He'll get the penalty. Hickman Ball Club has many interchangeable parts. Johnson hits them both. Davis to Sleeper. Forecourt pass to Abney. Abney will hold it. Now he's double teamed. Has the ball tipped away. Stolen away by Johnson. Off to Taylor against Kotowitz. Lays it up. Missed the layup. Rebound in the lane. Moody. He had it knocked away by Sleeper. Out to Bodie. Bodie with a layup. Puts it up and in. Bodie's got 10. The Owls lead is 18 again. Under 3 minutes left to go. That was a big 4-point swing there. Here's Whitney again from the corner for a three-pointer. No good. Rebound. Moody in the lane. Lays it up and in. Get the feeling Moody's going to be a player for this ball club. Here's Kotowitz to Davis in the backcourt. He's being hounded. Crosses the timeline. Spins on the dribble. Across the 10-second line off to Abney. Abney has it. Has the ball slapped away from Johnson from behind. And now a traveling violation is going to be called as Johnson and DeMille Davis get tangled up. They're going to call a walking violation. Coach Mike Lovelace can't believe it and says his player was tripped from behind. I'm not sure he wasn't right. Mike Lovelace is not going to take any warm stories home to Columbia about the officiating here tonight. He has been nailed on at least 2. And he really sets the tone, I think, for this Hickman ball club, and apparently couldn't answer the bell with that bad ankle, and without that steadying influence, that's been a difference tonight. And now Taylor and Bodie get tangled up at the top of the circle, and Bodie will go to the line for a 1-1. These Hickman players, they play that tough man-to-man defense, and the Owls, of course, have been known for that in past years, but not having the height inside this season, Coach Kevin Hart has had to go more to a whatever catch-can type of defense to play to his personnel, and the Owls have gone extensively with a zone tonight, and it has been, quite frankly, puzzling for this Hickman ball club to figure out. Bodie hits the first one. He'll get one more. Second one short in the lane. Kotowitz taps it out to Keith, who may have walked, but the Owls get away with it. Out to Bodie. Bodie is double teamed and tied up by Moody. Foul called against Moody. Ryan Moody picks up the personal. That's his first. The Owl lead is 17 with 2:08 left to play. Free throw, good. Bodie with a dozen points tonight. Fan with 21. He fouled out early in the fourth quarter. The only 2 Owls in double figures tonight. Bodie hits them both. Steve's got 13. The Owl lead is 19 again. Their biggest lead has been 21. Taylor off to Johnson in the corner of Bennett. Squares up for a 3, doesn't take it. Johnson will hit the tray and will take the tray, and he nails it. Johnson with 7 points off the bench. Again, pressure in the backcourt by Hickman. Kotowitz to Bodie in the backcourt. Bodie trying to fight through a double team. The ball is tipped away. Kotowitz, 10-second count against Marshall. 16-point Marshall lead with 1:43 left to play in the game. When's the last time? No, we'll talk about that more here in a moment. Hickman inbounds. Here's Whitney with it. Back in the ballgame to Bennett. Down low, Moody in the paint. Puts up a shot. Missed a layup. Gets his own rebound, but a foul is called, I believe, against Kotowitz. Nope. It's going to be DeMille Davis down there among the trees picking up the personal. That's his second. Moody will be at the line for, I believe, 2 shots, but before we're going to do that, the Owls are going to take a timeout. You're listening to K-Down to get it, and the Owls turn the ball over. And Hickman will get it again. Cross-court pass to Bennett for a shot over Bodie. Hits the side of the iron, no good. Rebound tapped up, that won't go. Sleeper gets the rebound and a jump ball, and it will be Hickman possession. 15 seconds left to go in this one. Joe Abney wants to call a timeout, and the Owls do get a timeout with 15 seconds left to play in the game. Marshall up by 13. We'll keep it right here. The Owls will go to 9-5 on the season. Doesn't get any easier. Coach Kevin Hart tells me the Kansas City Center is sort of reminiscent of this Hickman team. A lot of athletes, a lot of bodies. And the Owls will be on the road for that one. And then they go on the road next Friday night against Chillicothe. And then are on the road, which will be a very hostile Moberly High School gymnasium as a classic over in Slater. Always a great environment for high school basketball over there. Hickman inbounds. Johnson on the baseline to Whitney for a three-pointer off the glass. No good. Rebound in the middle. Moody puts it up and in. 6 seconds left to play in the game. Davis will inbound. He has no hurry. Davis gets it into Abney. It's stolen away. That's it. And the Owls. There's a fan jumping up against Anthony Davis, just a freshman, and center gets the tip. Center goes quickly with a 1-2-2 set on their offense. Wing the left-hand side, that's Jason Fuller. Back out top, that's Ray Smith. In the corner, that's Davis. Anthony Davis. The Owls have a DeMille Davis on their squad, but he is not starting. The Owls open up in a zone defense. 2-1-2. Sleeper roaming the middle for Marshall. Wing right side. That's Davis again. Back out to Jack Kading. Kading to Davis. One bounce back out top between the two circles. Up to Ray Smith. Smith with it looking inside. Nothing doing. Back out to Jason Fuller. Back to Ray Smith. Smith against Abney. Gets inside the double rings but doesn't shoot it. Back inside. Here's a pass shot put up and gets it down is Warren Pascal. Pascal had good defense by the Owls but was able to get away. And again, Marshall sees the kind of pressure they saw against Hickman. But the Owls break it up the middle to Sleeper. Off to Abney. Swing right side to Markham. Keith off to Abney again. Keith in the far corner to Abney. They swing at top of the circle. Kotowitz off the fan for a three-point try. Eric puts it up. No good. Rebound in the lane. Taken by Fuller. Out to Davis. Wing right side. Kading open for a three. Doesn't take it. Off to Ray Smith. Smith wants to work on Keith. Stops. Back off to Davis in the corner. Guarded by Kotowitz. Top of the circle. Fuller. They work it over to Pascal. Pascal. Top of the circle again. Abney picks up the man. Double teamed is Kading. Gets the ball off to a jumping Ray Smith, and Smith hits the jumper. Smith gets it down. It's an early 4-0 center lead. Kotowitz up the middle to Sleeper. Off to Abney. Abney still in the backcourt. Kotowitz has it. The Owls break the timeline off to Abney. Abney, the Owls try and solve this zone defense that Yellow Jackets are in. And we're going to have a foul called against Anthony Davis. That'll be the first team foul for either squad. We played just over 2 minutes. Marshall trails 4-0. Abney will inbound into Eric Fan. Fan tries to go baseline. He's cut off, double teamed. Back to Abney. Off to Keith Markman for a three-pointer, top of the circle, no good. Rebound Sleeper underneath. Max drives, gets it off the Fan. He lays it up too hard off the glass. Abney gets the carom, puts it up off the glass. That's too hard. Scott Kodowitz working the offensive glass. Count the bucket, and he's fouled on the play. Kodowitz got the deuce, and he'll go to the line to try and complete the three-point play. And the foul is called on Warren Pascal. Pascal picks up the foul. That's his first. And Kodowitz, who's been solid for Marshall the last 7-8 ball games, gets the point down. Marshall has cut that 4-0 lead to 4-3. To the forecourt with it, Ray Smith. Top of the circle, Kading fakes the pass. Now gets it out to Smith for a jumper. That's going to be short. In the lane, Abney with the rebound. Joe looks up court. Long lead pass to Fan, who lays it up. No good. Rebound, Kodowitz has it. Puts it up. Count the bucket again. And another foul is called against center. Davis, I think, will pick it up. The freshman. And that'll be his second foul. And Kodowitz, for the second straight time, can complete a three-point play if he can hit the free throw. Fan missed the layup, but Kodowitz hustling down the court. Filled the lane, got the rebound, got the bucket, got fouled, misses the free throw. Fan gets the rebound this time and has the ball knocked out of his hand from behind by Ray Smith. New player in the ball game, DJ Nelson, a 6'1 junior for Kansas City Center, and Davis with his 2 fouls will check out. Marquand Keith will inbound, so the Owls miss the free throw, but they get the ball back. Here's Abney, gets the inbounds pass from Keith. In the corner, guarded as now center goes up to a man-to-man defense. Coach Ed Fritz changes thing up. Here's Fan in the corner along the hash mark off to Keith. Keith in three-point country holds the ball out high to Abney. Center is challenging every pass. Here's Abney out to Fan for a jumper, top of the circle, no good. Keith high for the rebound in the lane. Down low to Sleeper, lays it up and in. Beautiful rebound by Keith, and then a very unselfish play as he got the ball to Sleeper, who knocked it down, and the Owls lead 7-4. Turns into a 4-point play for Marshall. Owls have run off 7 in a row. Here's Kading, top of the circle. Wing right side. They get it off to Nelson. Nelson still looking for help. Long skip pass to Kading. Can he save it? No. And then Kading goes crashing into the bleachers on the far side. Joe Abney on the inbounds pass off to Kodowitz, back to Abney to the forecourt. Abney dribbling, looking inside. He's got Nelson on him. Off the Fan to Keith. Keith's left alone for a three-pointer, doesn't shoot it. Abney squares up, tries to throw the ball inside, and coming out for the pass was Smith for the steal. Out to Pascal, fakes the shot, gets the ball to Kading in the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound, the Owls can't get it. Kading walk, no call. And then over and back, they're going to call us Kading. Tried to keep the ball alive because they knew he was out of control, and then threw the ball into the center back court, and the Owls get it on the turnover. Both teams have a turnover in the early going, and here's Keith to Abney, back to Marquand Keith. Under 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Fan goes baseline, inside the Sleeper, turns, has a shot blocked. Max tries to get it back, and they're going to call it a jump ball, and I think the possession arrow is pointing towards the Owls, and it is. And Marshall will get the ball back, and Keith gets the inbounds pass from Abney. The Fan, bounce pass right-hand side, Abney. Joe in the lane, turns, spins, puts it up off the glass, gets it down. Abney got the roll, the ball hit the window, bumped the front of the rim, and danced down the cylinder, and the Owls lead 9-4. Kading in the corner, out to Nelson, back to Kading. Kading in the lane, back off to Ray Smith. Center is rather patient on offense, but the Owl defense has got them a little bit puzzled right now. Pascal working the lane, puts it up over Sleeper, no good. Max is working very well at both ends of the floor on the boards right now. Here's Keith saving a pass from Abney. Cross-court Kodowitz. Kodowitz in the lane, turns. Well, Scott didn't know if he wanted to shoot it or pass it. He wound up losing the ball, and back comes center again. Keith gets blown away by Smith, who goes to the hole. He misses the shot, though. Rebound by Sleeper. Off to Abney. Abney 2-on-1 to Fan. Fan filling the lane. Push from behind. No call. Fan off to Keith. High post jumper. Count it. Marquand Keith gets the deuce. The Owls have run off 11 in a row. They lead 11-4. 2.5 left to play. First quarter from Kansas City. The Owls zone. causing some problems for center. Inside, there's a pass tipped, but still recovering the basketball, though, is Jason Fuller. And a foul is going to be called, I believe, before the shot. Fan will pick up the foul. Coach Ed Fritz for Kansas City Center wants the bucket to count, but the official just looked at him and smiled and said, no way. So Fan picks up the foul. That's his first. There's a three-point try on the inbounds pass from Smith, who can't hit it, and Kotowitz gets the rebound for Marshall. The Owls are limiting center to one shot each time down the floor. Here's Fan off to DeMille Davis in the ballgame for Abney right now. To Keith for a long three-point bomb. It's short. And blocking out the shooter and getting the rebound is DJ Nelson. Good defense by the center junior. Here's Kading, top of the circle. Nelson off the Fuller. A three-point try over Fan. Count it! Center went about 5 minutes without scoring, and Fuller hits a big three-pointer and gets them back in it here. 11-7, a minute 40 left to play in the quarter. Sleeper to the forecourt, off to Davis. DeMille will shoot a three. Count it! DeMille Davis hits the three-pointer. The Owls now lead again, 14-7. Here's Smith with a dribble against Marquin Keith. Smith very quick. Off to Nelson. Here is Nelson again in the lane. Puts up a shot, blocked away by Fan. Out to Davis, to Keith ahead of the pack. Keith is caught up to by Kading, but they're going to call him for traveling before the foul. And the Owl bench is, they can't believe it. Marquin Keith was mugged from behind. But they call traveling instead of the foul on Kading, who hit the floor to try and catch him. The Owls are on the road tonight, remember that. Here's Smith with the dribble. J.R. Lawless in the ball game, and Keith is out from Marshall. Here's a three-point try, put up no good by Kading, but Kotowitz picks up the foul. That'll be 3 foul shots for Jack Kading. 2 team fouls against Marshall. And we've got 57 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Center got off to a quick start, 4-0. The Owls ran off 11 in a row. And then Fuller hit a three-pointer, and then DeMille Davis answered with 3 of his own. And Kading hits the first one. The senior has 2 more from the line. New rule, of course, this year in high school basketball. We've seen it, maybe 5 or 6 times this year where a player was fouled in three-point country after missing the shot. Kading hits the second one. Joe Abney's going to report in along with Brad Ewert. In case you're joining us a bit late, Steve Bodie couldn't answer the bell tonight. Steve with the flu bug. So the Owls are having to change up a bit in their rotation. When Ewert and Abney do check in, Sleeper and Fan come out. Kading hits all 3 free throws, so the Owls know who not to foul later on in the game. Here's DeMille Davis. Gets to the timeline, now backs it off to Ewert. Back to Davis. The Owls got to get the ball across the 10-second line, and they do. There's Davis. Left-hand side, Abney. Abney looks inside. Cota was trying to post pass flow up in the lane. Now works the other side as the Owls get the ball to Lawless in the wing. Off to Davis. Davis gets the ball off to Ewert, top of the circle, over to Abney. Off to Davis. The Owls still got 30 seconds left to play in the quarter. Off to Davis. They lead by 4. Top of the circle, way out high now between the 2 rings is Abney. Abney out to Ewert as the Owls are going to go ahead and settle and play for 1 here as this first quarter winds down. Off to Lawless. The Kotowitz has the ball slapped away by Kading, and a foul is called. That'll be his first. 14 fouls in the first half now against center. We've got 15 seconds left to play in the quarter. Coming into the ball game will be Jerome Calloway, a 6-foot senior for center. Eric Fan checks back in, and J.R. Lawless will come out for Marshall. 15 seconds left to play in the quarter. The Owls are up by 4, trying to win their 3rd in a row in their first of 3 games on the road here. Here's Davis in the corner. Clock inside 13 seconds. Davis double dribble the ball on the far side. And the Owls, instead of getting a shot off, turn it over. Now center will have a chance to get as close as they've been here in a while. in the last 10 seconds of the quarter. Kading to the forecourt against Abney. Blows by Joe, loses the ball. Then Kotowitz had it, lost it. Pascal picks it up in the lane, puts it up off the glass, no good. But a foul is called against Kotowitz with 3 seconds left to play in the quarter, and that could very well be a very big foul before this game is over. The Owls had the turnover at one end. They're shorthanded as it is this evening. And Kotowitz, who's been their best inside player for the most part this season, picks up his second foul here in the first quarter. That will limit his playing time, I would think, in the second quarter, but we'll see what Coach Kevin Hart wants to do. In the meanwhile, Pascal has 2 from the line. Hits the first one. He's got 3 points. He had the first 2 points of the game for center. And Kotowitz will come out with 3 seconds left to play in the quarter. Sleeper comes back in. It's a 3-point game with 3 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Second shot by Pascal. Good. Ewert inbounds to Davis. 2 seconds. 1. Gets it to Abney, and that'll end the quarter. Got a good one from Kansas City Center. The Owls lead by a deuce for their first North Central Missouri Conference game of the season next Tuesday night, a week from tonight, as they take on the Spartans. The Owls won't be home again until the 8th of February against Hannibal. That'll be a Saturday night game. And Hannibal, I am told, is very strong. As if the conference wasn't strong enough. There's a pass inside, tipped away by Abney to Keith. Can he catch up with the pass? He does. Save it. The Kotowitz inbound, who saves it to Abney. Great hustle by the Owls. Fan takes a jumper, can't hit it, and back comes Kading. Well, the Owls went through a lot of work, couldn't get the shot down, though, with some bad shooting luck. Ball was down and then popped out of the cylinder. In the corner, they try to get it downstairs to Pascal. Good defense by Kotowitz, but then he lost it to Smith, who puts it up no good. Gets his own rebound, lays it up and in. Well, the Owls had a chance, but lost it. And center has tied the game at 14 here in the first minute of the second quarter. Wing left side to Fan. Fan against Smith. Off to Abney. Fan's left open for a three-pointer, no good. The Owls got to get him going. Here's Sleeper in the lane. Off to Abney for a tray. That's no good. Rebound pulled down by Fuller. Fuller, lead pass off to Smith. Look out here. Smith with the dribble between the legs in the lane for a jumper. No good. Rebound, Kotowitz had it, lost it. And they're going to say it went off Jerome Calloway. Kotowitz had it, but apparently when he tipped it, it went off Calloway's arm out of bounds. And the Owls were inbound in front of their own bench. We're still tied at 14. 6.5 left to go in the first half. Fan out to Abney, top of the circle. The Owls have been cold shooting the ball in the last couple minutes. Here is Sleeper. He is hammered from behind by Warren Pascal. But the ball goes out of bounds, and the Owls will inbound. The Owls got the pass inside. Couldn't get the shot down. Here's Keith out to Fan. Fan wants to go between the legs, but they're going to say Smith touched it last, and the Owls will get it back. The Owls may have gotten a break on that call. Here's Abney off to Marquin Keith. Long cross-court pass for Fan. Fan goes baseline against 2 players. Lost the ball out of bounds. Eric tried to go over this left hand and lost it. And the Owls turned the ball over. Marshall with 6 early turnovers here, and it's been a factor, especially in the last few minutes. Here is Calloway off to Smith behind the back dribble against Keith. Markman's done a better job on him in the last few moments. Here's Fuller open for a 3. Count it! Jason Fuller has hit 2 of those, and the Owls now trail by 3. And now it's center that's run off 10 straight points. Here's Fan on the pass from Pascal. It goes in and out of his hands, out of bounds. The Owls turn the ball over again. And Brad Ewert comes in the game for Kotowitz. Kotowitz may be a bit conscious of those 2 fouls. Have had to lay off Fuller a little bit, and Fuller was open for that last 3. Now he comes out of the game. And DJ Nelson will come back in, also in the ball game. One of the big men for Coach Ed Fritz. That would be Kunta Blackman, a 6'5", 260-pound freshman. He's hard to miss. He played a little bit in the junior varsity game. There's a shot put up, won't go down. Rebound tapped around in the lane. Two players go for it. Abney gets it for the Owls, and back comes Marshall. Abney, wing pass up to Keith. Keith will stop. Now he pops in the lane, chop it up, blocked by Blackman. Two players wrestle for it. Ewert comes up with it, and then he is hacked by DJ Nelson. Well, there was about three players along the baseline scrambling for the ball, and then here it came squirting out towards the middle of the lane to Ewert, who picked it up and did what he should have done, and that was go to the hole with it, and he was hammered by Nelson. DeMille Davis will come in the ball game. Marquin Keith will come out. The Owls haven't scored here in about the last 2 minutes or so of the first quarter and nearly 3 minutes of the second. Ewert's free throw is good. Brad will get one more. And the Owls have cut the lead to a deuce. Try and get it a little closer here. Second one up. Rolls around, won't go down. Tapped up, no good. Rebound is volleyballed around, and coming up with the basketball for the Yellow Jackets is Anthony Davis. Off to Smith. Smith almost walked. Long cross-court pass to Kading. Out to Davis. Davis just a freshman. He's got 2 fouls, so he's got to be careful too. The Owls are in that zone defense. Here's Smith out to Kading. Smith top of the circle against Abney. Davis is left alone on the far wing. He gets the ball, now goes baseline, lays it up off the glass. No good. Missed the layup. Rebound underneath. We got a foul called, and it's going to be on Davis. That'll be his third, and that's 16 fouls against center. Davis missed his own layup and may have made that freshman mistake of being frustrated. Well, not just a freshman mistake, but a lot of times when a player misses a shot he thinks he should have made, he'll come crashing in for that rebound, and he'll have his eye on the ball and not where the defensive player is, and that was the case that time. Kodowitz back in the game. Sleeper comes out. DeMille Davis is in the game now, and Marquin Keith is out, and the Owls work the ball smartly up against this zone pressure. They get the ball across the timeline. Kodowitz off to Davis. Open for a three. DeMille squares up and takes it. No good. Rebound by Fan. Eric puts it on off the glass. Maybe that'll get him started. Eric, averaging nearly 17 a game, gets his first 2. The Owls have tied the game at 17. 4:15 left to play in the first half. Rather low-scoring affair here, but that's the way it's gone to this point. Smith for a three-pointer. That's high off the glass, no good. Rebound by Abney. Abney comes back for the Owls, 2-on-2. Fan is trailing. Abney can't get the ball down the lane. Now he throws it up, a runner off the glass, no good. Not a good shot by the Owl junior, and back comes center. Still tied at 17. Smith open for a three. Dribbles inside the three-point line. Nice pass inside. Shot put up by Nelson. No, well, they're going to wave off the basket, and they're going to call a foul on Blackman away from the ball, who was trying to make some space for Nelson, and he can do that at 6'5" and 260 pounds. But it will be a shooting foul on the other end, 1-and-1 time for Marshall. As that puts the Yellow Jackets over the limit. Let's see who's going to go to the line. Kodowitz was the young man fouled, so the Owls will have a chance to take the lead here from the free throw line. 3:47 left to play in the half. Kodowitz's free throw is short. Scott pulled the string on it, and now Fan goes over the top and picks up the foul for the Owls in the lane. That's his second. 14 fouls against Marshall, and Keith and Sleeper come back in the ball game. Coach Kevin Hart is not bashful in this first half about rotating players in and out. Ewert and Fan will sit down, and we're still tied at 17. Nelson inbounds the ball to the ever-present Ray Smith. Smith across the timeline, bounce pass over to Callaway, to Nelson, to Callaway. Blackman and Sleeper are pushing and shoving on the inside. Long lob pass, right-hand side to Smith along the baseline. Good defense by the Kodowitz. And now a pass is thrown away. Here's Abney with it. Abney going down, lays it up and in. The Owls got a break as Callaway fell down, and Abney was left alone for an easy deuce. 5 turnovers against the Jackets. The Owls lead 19-17. Now here's Blackman in the lane, turns, puts it in off the glass over Sleeper. Big fella gets the ball down there, forget about it. Here is Kodowitz off to Davis. to Kotowitz. The Owls work the ball across the timeline in the middle. Sleeper. Sleeper off to Davis. Davis to Keith. Open for a jumper. Side of the lane. Count it. Marquand Keith has 4. The Owls again lead 21-19. 2:45 left to play in the half. Here's Nelson. Holds the ball out high in three-point land off to Fuller. Fuller off to Smith. Smith will run the offense. Bounce pass right-hand side to Callaway just inside three-point territory. Tries another bounce pass inside to Nelson along the baseline, and Kotowitz got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds. And Callaway, or rather Pascal, back in the ballgame, will inbound. Kading is also back in. Sitting down will be Nelson and Callaway. Here's Kading off to Smith. The Fuller open for a three-point bomb. No good this time, and Kotowitz has it. Foul going to be called against Kading. For a moment, we weren't sure who the foul was going to be called on, but the official got it right, and Kotowitz had good position. Kading also went up and picks up his second foul, and they'll walk the other way, and Kotowitz will shoot 1-1 for Marshall. The Owls are 2 of 5 from the stripe here in the first half. They lead 21-19. Marshall led by as many as 7 in the first quarter. Center led by as many as 4. Kotowitz can't hit the free throw, but DeMille Davis runs down the rebound along the far side for the Owls. Here's Davis between the legs, goes in the lane, double pumps, puts up a runner, no good. Rebound by Blackman. Blackman clears everything out of the way when he gets into the lane. There's Fuller leading the break. Fuller 1-on-2, backs it off to Smith. Smith, the Kading for, well, doesn't shoot the three, off to Smith against Davis. Inside to try and get the ball to Blackman, and a foul is called before the pass can get inside to him. They're going to get Sleeper on a hole. That's Max's 5th, so the Owls still have 1 foul to give. Ewert and Fan come back in. Kotowitz, DeMille Davis is out. There's a three-point try on the inbounds by Smith. No good. Rebound Abney off to Keith. Keith 1-on-2. He'll hold up. Good play by Marquand. Off to Abney to Ewert. Top of the circle. Abney has it. Keith fakes the 3. Cross-court pass Ewert. Foul line. Now they back it off between the 2 rings to Abney. Abney off to Keith. Top of the circle. Fakes the pass inside. Back to Joe. Off to Marquand. Top of the circle. Ewert. Off to Fan for a jumper in the corner. Good. Eric Fan has 4 points, and the Owl lead again is 4, 23-19. Coming up on a minute 15 left to play in the half. A rather low-scoring game, the way the Owls have played most of the season, but Marshall does have the lead. Left side, Fuller has it. Off to Smith, pounds the ball on the floor to the right hand between the 2 circles. Nice no-look pass inside to Pasquale, who was fouled from behind by Fan, who came late on the defense. And that's his 3rd. And Lawless will come in the game for the Owls, and Fan will come out with 3 fouls and 4 points. So Marshall will go into the second half with at least 1 player in foul trouble. And Kotowitz having 2, but he's on the bench. Pascal's free throw, he's already 2 of 2 from the line. First one, good. Center is 6 of 6 from the line. The Owls are 2 of 6, and they missed the front end of 2 1-and-1s. Second one. Rolls around, won't go down. Sleeper on the rebound. Had it, lost it in the lane. Smith puts it up and in! Smith wound up on the seat of his pants, but got it to go down. Now the Owls in the backcourt. Abney to Sleeper, back to Abney. Abney working against Smith, up to Lawless. Lawless drives, puts up a shot, won't go down. Rebound by Sleeper in the lane, whistle. And they're going to call a foul against Marshall. And that'll put the Owls over the limit and send the Yellow Jackets to the line the other way with 45 seconds left to play in the half. And Center can take the lead on these free throws. And guess who goes back to the line? Warren Pascal. And that's 2 quick fouls on Max Sleeper. Uh-oh. Well, there won't be any free throws because Blackman got that 260 pounds in the lane, shifted one way and couldn't stop, and crossed over the line in the lane, and the Owls get a break. Back comes Abney. Marshall can play for one here, still with a 1-point lead. If nothing else, they'll still be in the lead at the break. Here's Ewert off to Abney. But center is not exactly going to let the Owls do that. They are playing pretty tough on the D. Smith runs right through Lawless. No call right in front of the official. Here's Abney back off to Lawless. Lawless guarded by Callaway to Keith. 15 seconds up to play in the half. Both teams are in the bonus. Here's Keith off to Ewert. Way out high, Abney. Abney to Keith inside of 6 seconds. Keith looking for a cutter. He'll have to go to the hole with it. Keith will shoot a long three-pointer off the side of the backboard, no good. And that ends the first half, and the Owls did not work that last sequence very well. And we're getting ready to start the second half. The Owls come on the floor with Abney, Fan, Keith, Sleeper, and Kotowitz. That's their starters tonight. Steve Bodie, we mentioned earlier, had the flu bug and couldn't answer the bell. It'll be Kading who's guarding Marquin Keith on this inbounds pass. Shot put up by Keith, no good. It's Fuller with it now. Jason Fuller hit those 2 3-pointers in the first half. Off to Pasco, off to Smith. Had the ball stolen away, and then Sleeper going for the ball against Pasco, and Pasco picks up the foul. That's his second. So it'll be Pasco, Kading, DJ Nelson, Fuller, and Ray Smith on the floor for Ed Fritz's Kansas City Fighting Yellow Jackets. Kotowitz up the floor to Marquin Keith across the timeline. Opening minute of play here in the second half. The Owls lead by a point. Abney with the 3-point bomb, no good. Marquin Keith picks up the foul, going for the offensive rebound. That'll be his first, and the Owls start the half with Kotowitz and Fan on the floor. Fan has 3 fouls, Kotowitz 2. Anthony Davis, who started, the freshman for the Yellow Jackets, has 3 fouls, but he's on the bench. Across the timeline with it, Kading. The Owls still cling to that 1-point lead. Off to Smith in the corner against Fan. Cross-court pass Kading, off to Fuller. Fuller, the Owls know he can shoot that 3. They swing the ball around to Nelson, off to Smith. Smith to Nelson, top of the circle. Looking inside, nothing doing against this Owl zone. Smith to Nelson, fakes the 3. Now puts the ball on the floor. Back out to Smith for a long 3-pointer. Won't go down. They hit the tension wire on the way up after the rebound, and the Owls will get the ball back. Pressure in the backcourt now put on by the Yellow Jackets. Abney looks to inbound, does so to Sleeper. In the backcourt, off to Abney. Abney near his own baseline, double teamed off to Max. Max, cross-court pass to Marquin Keith, who works it across the timeline to Fan. Fan, pace, ball pass inside to Kotowitz. Missed the layup. Kotowitz gets his own rebound. Has it blocked away by Fuller. Fuller came out of nowhere to get the rejection, and back comes Kading down the floor. Kading in the lane, turns, spins, puts it up, no good off the glass, too hard. 2 players hit the deck, no call. Ed Fritz for the Jackets wanted a foul, but none was coming. Here's Abney. He'll just pull up for a 3 and hits it side of the lane. The Owls need to get him cranked up. He's got 7. Down the baseline is Smith, who is oh so quick. Lays it in off the glass, and he hit his right ankle. He came down on that ankle very hard, and he may be injured. I'm not sure he'll be able to continue. As he went to the bucket hard, made an acrobatic, beautiful layup, but then came down on that right ankle. The Owls lead by 2 with 6 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Abney spins to the hoop against Fuller. Good defense, though. Good helping defense by Pascal, who cut him off at the low block. Here's Fan, goes inside. Pass inside. I don't know who he was throwing it to. It's thrown away, and the Owls turn the ball over. Eric got trapped along the baseline, just had to throw it back towards the lane, but no one was there. Top of the circle, they wing it around to Kading. The Owls are still in that zone as Sleeper and Pascal are going at each other, and Sleeper's going to pick up a foul. That's his 3rd. So Sleeper has 3, Fan has 3, and Kotowitz has 2. And the Owls are in the soup here with their foul situation. There's not much they can do about it. Here's Nelson. That's one of the reasons why they're in a zone. Here's Pascal, gets loose underneath, no good. Rebound tapped around as Sleeper and Fan go for it. And it goes off Nelson out of bounds, and the Owls get it back. Marshall still has the lead. The Owls have had 5 losses on the season. The losses to Boonville and Probably the loss to Richmond can be attributed to some foul trouble where they really couldn't do much about it. Here's Fan, top of the circle, off to Kotowitz, down the lane. Scott pulls up for a runner. No good. Rebound tapped up by Sleeper. Max still fighting for it with Fan and Pascal. And it goes off Pascal. Oh, no, they're going to say it went off Fan out of bounds. The Owls lose it. Tough shooting luck by Scott Kotowitz. I thought he had that baby down, but it wouldn't stay down. The Owls still lead by 2, 5 minutes up to play in the quarter. Fuller against Fan. Long cross-court pass to Davis is back in the game. He's got 3 for the Jackets. Out to Kading, goes inside, back out to Fuller for a jumper over Fan. Count it! Jason Fuller ties the game at 26. Here's Abney. Bounce pass to the forecourt to Keith. Keith turns in the lane. Bounce pass inside to Sleeper. Blocked from behind by G.J. Nelson. Off the Fan for the three-point try. That won't go down. Kotowitz runs it down in the lane. A couple players hit the deck. No call. Here's Fan in the corner. Throws up a long three-pointer. That won't go. Sleeper has the weak side rebound. Off to Kotowitz in the lane. Scott turns, puts it up. Has a shot partially blocked. No good. And rebound pulled down by Davis. Off to Kading. Kading splits the defense. Bounce pass off to Fuller. Another 3. That won't go down. Rebound by Fan. Fan will lead the attack for the Owls now. Across the timeline, over the line on the left. Off to Keith. Markman throws up a tray. Count it! As he's got 7 in the game, the Owls regain the lead, 29-26. Wing left side, off to Davis in the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound by Kotowitz. Kotowitz off to Abney. The Owls are going to run again. Abney to the forecourt, off the Fan. And a timeout is called by the Owls with the lead and to keep some people out of foul trouble, deeper than what they already are. Nice pass inside a Sleeper from Davis. Then he gets his own rebound and puts it back up and in. Max missed the first one, but got the second one to go for him. He's got 4 in the game. The Owls lead by 5. Here's Smith, wing left side. Back off to Fuller to Smith. Smith picks up the dribble. Cross court, over to Davis. Davis back off to Smith. Smith will turn against Marquin Keith. Doesn't shoot it. Off to Smith. Smith, the Owls have a couple players getting ready to come right back in the game. Smith wants to go inside. Wing left side off to Davis. Davis turns along the baseline. The Owls in that zone. Here's Davis. Davis inside to Pascal in the lane against a double team. Puts it up and in off the glass. Pascal's got 7 points in the backcourt. The Owls almost lose it. Here's Kotowitz has it. Has to run it down. Now he's double teamed off to Davis. Let's see if the Owls can get a break out of this. Davis across the timeline. Davis stops at the three-point line. Off to Ewert. Ewert in the corner. Back to Davis. Davis, top of the circle, Kotowitz, off to Keith. Now the Owls will run the offense. Here's Davis, top of the circle against Smith. To Keith, just inside the three-point line, guarded by Nelson. Center is in a man defense. Here's Kotowitz, off to Keith, along the baseline. Keith tried to throw it inside. Nelson had it, knocked it away. Off to Smith. Smith against Kotowitz. Takes him to the hole, blows by him, lays it up and in. Kotowitz had a pretty good defensive position, but then Smith turned on the afterburner. Here's Keith ahead of the pack, lays it up. No good! Rebound tapped up by DeMille Davis. That won't go. DeMille gets it back and then backs off the ball to the corner. The Owls lead by a point. 2 minutes left to play in the third period. The action has intensified here a bit in the latter stages of this third quarter. Left-hand side off to Kotowitz. Kotowitz against Fuller, off to Davis. Doesn't shoot the 3. Nelson is on him. Here's Ewert at the high post. Ewert now dribbles inside, back off to Kotowitz. Looks inside, nothing there, back off to Davis. DeMille Davis against DJ Nelson. Davis almost double dribbled and almost lost it. Off to Marquin Keith. Off to Sleeper. Sleeper high post against Pascal. Off to Davis against Nelson. The Owls can't shake a man free. Now Ewert will shoot it. No good. Sleeper puts up a shot on the rebound. That won't go down. Ewert tries, or rather, Sleeper tries again. He is hammered from behind by Pascal. And Max will shoot a deuce from the foul line. Ewert's shot missed everything. But Sleeper was there on the weak side to corral a loose ball, and then Max had a free shot but threw it up too hard off the glass. And Ewert and Marquin Keith will sit down. Fan and Abney come back in with 1:24 left to play in the third quarter. The Owls led by a point at halftime. They lead by a point now. The Sleeper will have 2 shots. That's 3 fouls on Pascal. So he has 3, and Fan and Sleeper have 3 for the Owls. First shot is no good. The Owl free throw shooting has been a bugaboo for the better part of the season, although recently it's been much better, but not tonight. Second one, good. I knew as soon as I said that, they'd make one. Max gets it down. The Owl lead is 2. Minute 20 left to play in the quarter. Here's Smith. He's back in the game after that ankle injury, but he apparently is hale and hearty again. He gets a return pass from Davis. Top of the circle against a double team. Wants to go inside. Back off to Kading. Kading inside. Working the pass. Nice pass inside to Davis, who got loose. After the pass of Mario Monroe, a 6'3 junior, who's just in the ball game. We're tied again. Here's Sleeper to the forecourt against Fuller. Backs off the dribble to Abney. Off to Davis. Davis, top of the circle. 48 seconds left to play in the third quarter. We're tied at 32. Fan in the corner. Off to Davis. Davis, top of the circle. Kotowitz. Kotowitz down the lane. Good helping defense by Kading. He gets a steal. Kading drives on Kotowitz to the baseline. Puts it up. No good. Sleeper gets the rebound. Outlet pass Davis. 2-on-1. Davis against Fuller. Stops. Pops in the lane. He walks. Davis will come out and Lawless will come in. Here comes Brad Ewert in the ball game. Marquin Keith will come in as Kevin Hart clears his bench after that play. Well, the Owls had a 2-on-1 and couldn't get it down. And on the other end, Coach Ed Fritz was screaming at one of the officials for a foul, but none was forthcoming on that driving layup attempt by Kading. Here's Kading off to Smith. 15 seconds left to play in the quarter. Kading holds the ball high over his head to Fuller. Fuller, lob pass, top of the circle. Smith for a jumper for a 3. Now it's a 2-pointer. A 2-pointer, 3 seconds left to play in the quarter. Off to Kotowitz for a heave at the buzzer. Won't go, it went off the glass from half court. At center with a late spurt as a 34, the freshman. Gets it off the pass, gets it off to Smith rather. Smith, top of the circle, off to Davis. Mario Monroe is in the ball game now in the middle, a 6'3 junior. Here is Kading, off to Smith for a 3-point bomb, yeah! Ray Smith has got 15 points. And here's Sleeper with it. Sleeper to Abney across the timeline. That's the biggest lead of the game for the Yellow Jackets. Off to Kotowitz, to Abney, top of the circle. The Owls need to answer with a bucket here. Here's Keith, off the side, Kotowitz. Kotowitz can't find a cutter. Here's a pass. Monroe almost stole it away, but Abney gets it back from Marshall. Abney spins in the lane. Loses the handle on the way up, and Monroe comes down with it. The Owls have had 3 straight turnovers on their last 3 possessions. Here's Smith, top of the circle, Kading. Coming up on 7 minutes left to play in the game. Davis off to Fuller in the corner. Fuller looks. The Owls in that zone defense. Down pass, down low to Monroe. Puts it up. No good. Rebound tapped up by Smith. Gets his own rebound. That won't go down. And here's Kotowitz. Off to Abney. Lead pass to Keith. Keith 2-on-1 to Fan. Fan lays it up and in. Beautiful 3-on-1 and the Owls executed to perfection. And Fan finishes off the sequence. Here's Fuller in the lane. Blocking foul against Kotowitz. That's 3 on him. And 3 team fouls and a half against Marshall. Neither team is in any real foul trouble as far as team fouls is concerned. That's 3 against the Owls, 2 against Kansas City Center. Danil Davis will check in. And Scott Kotowitz will come out. Owls trail by 3. Pass along the wing to Smith for another 3-point try, no good. Rebound Monroe in the lane, that shot is short. 2 players battle for it for center. Monroe again, that one won't go down. The Owls are out man on the boards right now, but a foul over the back against Davis, that's 4 on him. And the Owls will get it back. They'll have to bring it up against pressure. Danil Davis will do the honors of inbounding. Davis bounce pass into Fan. Fan back off to Abney. Now center drops back on the defense. Abney will dribble it up against the ever-quick Ray Smith. Abney blows by Smith to the foul line. Now backs off the dribble. Looking for help as he killed the dribble off to Davis. Davis to Marquin Keith, guarded by Fuller. Keith the sleeper, top of the circle. He'll go around Monroe, but they say he walked. 13 turnovers in the ball game against the Owls. I've only got center for 1 turnover in the second half and 7 in the game. Marquand Keith will check back out. Kotowitz comes in. 6 minutes left to play in the ball game. The Owls trail by 3. Here is Smith off to Kading, back to Smith, over to Davis. Wants to go baseline against Pham, but lost the dribble, but gets it back to Fuller. Fuller to Smith. Long skip pass off to Kading against Abney on the right-hand side. That's Fuller against Kotowitz. Skip pass in the middle to Davis over Pham, puts it up, won't go down. Rebound tapped up and in by Monroe. Oh, this Monroe kid's a quick jumper. Where's he been all night? He's very athletic in the middle for the Yellow Jackets. To the timeline, and across the timeline is Davis. Davis, a very quick jumper, is Mario Monroe. Abney in the middle, off the Pham. Pham off to DeMille Davis, guarded by Smith. Smith is very dangerous. Top of the circle, they work the ball to Abney for a jumper. It's partially blocked, no good, but Davis gets the rebound. Off to Abney in the middle. Abney down low to Kotowitz, who lays it up and in. Kotowitz with 7. The Owls are back within 3. Coming up on 5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Smith almost lost as he tried to go between the legs against Davis. Off to Davis. Anthony Davis, that is. Here's Fuller down the baseline, lays it up, reverse layup, blocked by Kotowitz, and then Kotowitz saves it to Abney. Long lead pass to Davis, who was out of control and lost the ball off his leg out of bounds. Davis saw Smith coming, although Smith never would have caught him. DeMille just couldn't get a handle on it. And Marquand Keith couldn't quite get in the ball game in time, and the Owls will have to wait to get him back in. And back with it comes Smith, and timeout's going to be called by Ed Fritz and the Yellow Jackets. 4:40 left to play in the ball game. The Owls 5-point lead of their own, and now they lead by 3, and they got the ball. Here's Smith against Davis. Davis got a steal, but then lost it as he hit the deck and couldn't control it. And back comes Smith. Wing right side off to Fuller. Long skip pass to Kading. Along the wing to Davis. Back out to Kading. Kading to Davis. Davis bounce pass inside to Mario Monroe. Puts it up and in. Monroe got position on Kotowitz, and the Owls trail by 5. Bounce pass up the middle to Kading. Not a good pass, and the Owls lose the ball again. Off the wing to Smith, who hits the jumper. The Owls trail by 17. They want a timeout with 4 minutes left to play in the game. 4:01 left to go in this ball game, and the Owls trail by more than on the offensive end. For center, here's Abney across the timeline against Fuller. Abney wants to drive on Fuller, does so, back off to Keith. Keith takes a step in the lane for a jumper, rolls around, won't go down. Well, the Owls have had several of those tonight. And back comes Fuller off to Smith. Smith speeds to the forecourt. Smith around Davis in the lane, backs it off to Anthony Davis against DeMille Davis for Marshall. Kansas City Center's not going to be in any hurry. I wouldn't doubt if they take the air out of the ball. That's what they're going to do. Smith off to Kading. Off to Smith. Smith against Davis between the legs to the foul line for a jumper. Tough shot. Won't go down. Rebound Monroe. That won't go. Tapped up by Kading. No good. Davis off to Abney. The Owls trying to get something going in transition here. Here's DeMille Davis. Almost lost it. Back off to Keith. Around Davis for a jumper. No good. Markham was a little bit off balance and threw it up off the glass. Didn't get anything, and back comes Smith with it. And we're under 3 minutes left to play in the game, and he'll walk the ball over the timeline for Kansas City Center, which comes in here 12-4, and it looks like they're going to go up to 13-4 unless the Owls can put on some kind of a run here late. Abney guarding Kading. Kading gets the ball to Smith. Neither team is close to the limit. There's Smith, drives baseline, lays it up off the glass, no good. And DeMille Davis will pick up the foul, and the Owls will go with J.R. Lawless off the bench. But Smith will shoot 2 from the stripe. And Davis picks up the foul. That's his first. 4 team fouls against the Owls. So Marshall still has 2 to give, and they're going to have to be gambling on defense. Smith has 17 points, 11 in this second half. Hits the free throw, giving him 18 on the night. He'll get 1 more from the stripe, and the Owls trail by 8. Second one, out the back iron, no good. Kotowitz gets the rebound, off to Abney. Long cross-court pass to Pham. Pham Well, lost the handle on the way up, and here comes Davis with the rebound and jams it. Anthony Davis got the loose ball, and the 6'2 freshman nails it down for Kansas City Center as Lawless throws up a three and misses for the Owls, and that ought to about do it. Marshall trails by 10 with 2 minutes left to play in the ball game. And Smith will walk it up against the Owls, who have gone stone cold in this second half. They've scored 13 points. Here's Smith along the far side, fouled by Lawless. And that's not a bad foul because Marshall needs to get Kansas City Center in the bonus and get them at the line. That's only 5 team fouls against Marshall, first against Lawless. Fan wanted to shoot a three-pointer, and the ball just slipped out of his hand. Didn't look like he might be able to continue, but a few minutes of rest on the bench, and he came back, and he's been very tough. Here's Monroe on the inbounds. Monroe is 6'3", and he can really get up. And a foul from behind against the Owls, I think against Davis. And now one more, and Kansas City Center will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. 1:56 left to play in the ball game, so Center ran off 5 seconds to see how long it'll be till the Owls foul again. Here's Smith against Davis. Davis, Smith between the legs, down the lane, throws it up, and won't go down. Really not a good play by Center, but now Davis with a hustling play saves it off the leg of Sleeper out of bounds, and the Yellow Jackets get it back with 1:45 left. Well, the Owls in the second half just haven't played well. I think Center has something to do with that. Here's Fuller. The Owls have Brad Ewart back in the ball game now to try and maybe get something done here. Here's Lawless, and Lawless does pick up a foul against Kading, and Kading will be at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Kading didn't like the idea that Lawless fouled him, but it's that time of the game, and you're going to get that. So the Owls will regroup and try and go to Chillicothe and get a win. Kading hits the first one. He's got 4 points, all from the line tonight. Center leads by 11. Second shot, short, rebound by Davis in the lane. The Owls haven't scored in a while. Back comes Davis with it across the timeline. And he is then fouled by Kading. It's a non-shooting foul. That's Kading's third. And the Owls will inbound in the forecourt along the far side. Davis inbounds into Lawless. Lawless to the time across the three-point line. Back off the fan for a three. No good. Or the Owls just can't get anything to fall for him. And back comes Center. Long lead pass to Fuller against Lawless. Fuller back off to Smith. The Owls are trying to foul. Smith, top of the circle, Monroe, he'll take it to the hoop. But there'll be a foul before the shot on the floor against Sleeper. That'll be Max's fourth, and Monroe will be at the line for a 1-and-1. 1:07 left to play in the ball game. Stay tuned. After our wrap-up here, we'll be joining action from the Slater tournament, the Wildcat Classic in Slater. Greg Schmidt will be joining you with action there. It'll be a boys' game. And it'll either be Fayette and Malta Bend or Concordia and Carrollton's game finishing up. More than likely it'll be Fayette and Malta Bend. Monroe hits them both. And the Owls trail by 13, and Ed Fritz. Ewart inbounds to Sleeper. Off to Brad Ewart to DeMille Davis. Davis across the timeline against Ray Smith. Top of the circle, Fan shakes, space, goes in the lane, lays up a shot, no good. Rebound tapped up by Sleeper, no good. And now we got Fuller and Max Sleeper going at each other, and Fuller takes a shove at Sleeper and picks up an intentional foul. And Sleeper will shoot 2 from the line, and the Owls will get the ball back, but with 51 seconds left, it's academic now. That's Fuller's first foul of the night. 5 team fouls against the Yellow Jackets. And Fritz comes out of, or rather, Coach Ed Fritz takes Fuller out of the ball game. And Sleeper will shoot 2 from the line. First one is up. Good. Max has 6 on the night. He'll get 1 more. It's a first point for the Owls in a while. Second one up. That one's no good. And Marquand Keith will come in the ball game. Sleeper will come out. The Owls will get the ball back. And Coach Kevin Hart takes Max Sleeper out. And that situation is probably a good move because there may be some retaliation on the minds of the center players or on Max's mind after being pushed at. So no sense in starting anything up here. Down by 12 with 40 seconds left. Fan goes inside, lays up with the left hand. The Owls can't buy one downstairs. And Fan is blocked from behind by Nelson. And back comes Kansas City Center. 30 seconds left to play in the game. Davis will guard Smith. Smith blows by him and Keith. And a foul called on Marquand Keith as he got a hand on Smith as he blew by in the lane. And Smith will shoot a 1-and-1 for Kansas City Center with 24 seconds left. The Owls have scored 14 points in the second half. And 37 points will be the low water mark of the season for Marshall, if that indeed remains to be the score. The Owls' lowest output so far this season has been 48 points on 2 occasions, both of those coming in the losses at the Smith-Cotton tournament. Smith hits them both. He's got 20 on the night to lead all scores. And the Owls call a timeout. Owls have owned Chillicothe in recent years. Jamil Davis inbounds to Lawless. Lawless to Fan. Fan dribbles once, now kills it off to Keith. Keith dribbles inside the three-point line, down the baseline, lays it up and in, down the lane rather, and Flint gets it down for the Owls. Markham with 9 on the night. 9 seconds left to play in the game. Here's Smith off to Davis, down the lane, lays it up and in. That'll do it. Kansas City Center wins the ball game tonight. 53-39, a big second half by their senior guard, Ray Smith.